All right, and Chris Webber hasn't played in the NBA since 2008, but he's still scoring for a good cause. The Basketball Hall of Famer breaking ground on players only holdings last week, a cannabis operations and training facility in Detroit that aims to provide professional and educational opportunities to underrepresented communities. And for more on this, here's Cheddar's own Chloe Aiello.
Thanks, Asia. Joining me now is entrepreneur and Basketball Hall of Famer Chris Webber, who is also co-founder of the Webber Wild Impact Fund. Chris, welcome to Cheddar. Thank you so much for joining us today. Players Only sounds like something pretty unique in cannabis. What are you hoping to accomplish with it?
Well, thank you for having me on. Well, what we're hoping to accomplish is a couple of things. One, to definitely have a successful company, but at the same time, along with Jason Wild, we created a $100 million impact fund. And this impact fund is to give access to men, women, brown and black people, that communities have been disproportionately targeted by certain drug laws, and to give them an opportunity. And it's been really exciting. So we've done that through our fund, and that's through investing in these companies, in these wonderful people, but at the same time partnering with great brands like Cookies to create Cookies University, and that will be on this campus. And what Cookies University is, it's an intense 3-month program that is from seed to sale, has a financial literacy program, we have an expungement program, then we have job training and job placement within the cannabis industry, and we also have job placement and job training for jobs outside of the cannabis industry. So we hope it can be an inspiration to a city that's inspired me so much.
Yes, and I'm super interested to hear about Cookies U and also what you're doing with that impact fund. But first, I do want to ask why you picked Detroit for this facility, which is, going to be massive with cultivation, with a, consumption lounge. Why is Detroit the right place for this?
Well, Detroit is the right place, one, because I'm just blessed enough to be from there. And so I have an intimate relationship with the city. I understand the people. I'm one of us. Two, because I believe it's fertile ground to have a successful company. When you look at medical marijuana and also recreation, I think my story hits home with a lot of people. We have a lot of wonderful people that what I like to call them the factory athletes, like my father. That's, what's the difference in the athlete? Is it myself that's played 15 years, or is it my father that worked in a factory for 15 years? Because we have the same issues. And so when we talk about the healing properties of this plant, I'm just excited to spread the good news about that. And so, one, because of the people, two, because the city is ripe and fertile, and three, I know the industry in Michigan, and I'm proud to partner with our partners such as Gage, whose footprint is ever growing there in Michigan.
And speaking of that partnership with Gage on Cookies U, what sorts of entrepreneurs are you hoping to recruit into that program, and what kinds of opportunities specifically will it give them?
Well, I think what we are going to do is set the platform and let the people tell us in which way they'll use the education. So again, we have from seed to sale. So if you want to become a cultivator and become one of those scientists and those mad scientists that I love so much, it's an intense program that'll get you through there. If you want to become a bud tender, if you want one of the jobs, on the outside, ancillary jobs, we train you for that as well. And what's great is that it's not just an empty certificate, but when you have the trust of Cookies or of other large brands that know the impact of Cookies in their brand, it becomes a tangible piece of currency saying I came through this program. So that's what we're excited about. But there are programs that we're doing in certain communities, because we do have a philanthropic arm to make sure that not only are we helping the parents of those that were affected by the mistargeted sometimes laws, but we're trying to help the children and make sure that there's a path for them in high school not to go into these areas through financial literacy, through giving their parents an opportunity to come back and get a GED, those type of things. So not only having a partnership and a cultivation with a great partner like Gage, that's awesome. Being able to have a wonderful dispensary right there at Players Only #1, we're so excited about. But what we're already doing in the community and other industry, and then bringing it to cannabis, and then partnering with Cookies for Cookies U, I'm very excited about, because these are communities that I'm from, that my family's from, my friends still live in, and that we want to repair. And so doing that is more so not telling people what they can become. It's more so giving them access to a world of education, and then don't worry, they'll lead us after that because they're so smart, ingenuitive, and all those wonderful things. So hopefully we could just do right by them by making sure that anything they want to be educated in, any area they want access to in the cannabis industry, that we're able to provide that.
And the $100 million Weber Wild Impact Fund, this was a big deal when you announced it, earlier on. So what have you actually done with that fund so far? It sounds like it's a partnership in this new project. What businesses are you backing with that?
Well, it's not a partnership necessarily in this project. The fund definitely has a mind as its own, and we'll be announcing some of those our partners, and letting our partners announce it and the reason why I say that is because we're excited to partner with wonderful people. We are doing something great in giving access. We're doing something wonderful by Jason putting his money where his mouth is, but this is in no way a giveaway or a welfare program. We have people that have earned their time and earned the right to announce when they want to. And so I'm excited that you'll be hearing announcements very soon. But we've been moving and we're excited, not only because we're helping and giving access, but again, we like to call this a success fund. And so it's going to be very profitable. And we're really excited about the applicants
And we are looking forward to hearing who those businesses are. I want to switch gears really quickly here. Sha'Carri Richardson, her high-profile suspension from the Tokyo Olympics did resurrect a conversation about elite athletes and drug testing. More professional leagues, and even now the World Anti-Doping Agency, are rethinking their own policies. How do you think cannabis use should be handled in sports?
I think, one, there needs to be more education on cannabis because I think the narrative is very important. The narrative about sleep management, mood management, information management, recoup time. So I think that it definitely needs to be studied more. I think that the bodies, the sports legislative bodies, so to speak, have their rules, and I think you have to adhere to those rules. And in basketball, football, and others, they're being dealt with in the collective bargaining agreement. So I think that the Olympics is something else, and I think that she started a conversation, but I think it's something that myself, others in basketball since John Sally have started, and also in football, started a long time ago. Maybe because of the conversation or the races before and after that happened, but I would encourage those that really want to have that conversation to look into the collective bargaining agreements of MLB, football and baseball. When you look at basketball, when you look at the top four sports, I think usually other bodies follow them, and I think that they're doing a great job right now because the NBA, they lead with their players and that information, and really I think that probably most leagues should take the lead of the NBA or the NFL, in which these are no longer illegal substances or aren't used for testing. But I think each individual sport has the right to speak their own mind, but they should probably take some lead from the biggest and the best in the four.
Chris, thank you so much again for all of this insight and for joining us today. That was Chris Webber, Basketball Hall of Famer and entrepreneur.